Hi, welcome to SwissWatchExpo. We get many calls throughout the day of saying that my watch is not operating the way it's supposed to. And because a lot of times you're browsing through the website, you're just so excited about picking your watch that you may not know exactly what type of movement you had received on your timepiece. So today I'm talking about the three main movement types on watches that we do sell here at SwissWatchExpo, so stay tuned. Welcome back to SwissWatchExpo. So as you're browsing through our website, I know it is very exciting to go ahead and look through the many watches that we have listed for sale. And a lot of the times the movement type actually gets overlooked because of the excitement of picking the watch that you love so much. So today I wanted to go over the three different movement types that we carry, which is going to be a quartz movement, a manual winding movement, and an automatic self-winding watch. And a lot of the times there's a little bit of confusion just based on the name and the way that the watch looks. So I want to go over a few of those options for you. So the first one and the main one is going to be this one here with the mechanical movement. So this is sometimes referred to as a manual winding movement. So today we have the Rolex Cellini 5115. This one is in the 31mm case size. And this was kind of like a vintage size watch. So if you are looking for this one online, just note that this is going to be a little bit on the smaller side and that this does feature the manual winding movement. So the way that this timepiece operates is that every morning that you wake up, you do have to give it a full power reserve. And the way you do that is right here on the side, this dial we're going to refer to as the crown. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go ahead and rotate that clockwise right until you start feeling a little bit of resistance on the crown itself. So where you can't really go any further, that's how you know that you have a full power reserve and that watch is going to run perfectly throughout the day without any issues. And then in the morning, what you're going to want to do is pretty much repeat those steps in the morning. So I just make it part of my morning routine. When I'm brewing a cup of coffee, I'll just go ahead and quickly give this a full wind, set the time, and I'm good to go for the rest of the day. Now, if that's something that you really don't want to have to fiddle with every single day to have to, go ahead and wind your watch, set the time every morning. I know it can be a little bit cumbersome, but for some of those watch fans out there, we love messing with those mechanics and movements anytime that we get. So I do really enjoy the manual winding movement, but if this is not for you, you may want to consider the other two options that we have available. So the next and most popular one when looking especially at a luxury Swiss-made timepiece is going to be the self-winding automatic movement. Now the name does give it a little bit more of a confusing tone to it because we do get a lot of calls saying that, look, this should wind by itself, how come my watch is not running? So when you do receive your automatic timepiece in the mail, because it's probably been in shipment for about 2 days while it's on the truck, it probably lost a lot of its power reserve. So when you do receive an automatic timepiece, just make sure that you do give it a full power reserve. And it's called automatic self-winding because as you're wearing the watch, the movements of your wrist and arm movements will actually keep the watch wound. And if you stop wearing it for a certain amount of time, you'll see that second hand will stop moving and all you gotta do is just give it that full power reserve. And the best way to do that on this specific one, we are featuring the Rolex Datejust 41 with that beautiful chocolate dial. Love the contrast between the white hour markers and that beautiful brown dial that you don't normally see on most of these watches. So it's a really unique and clean look, especially paired with the 18 karat rose gold. So the way to operate this one here is this does feature a screw down crown for water resistance. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go ahead and rotate this counterclockwise on the crown. And you'll see that it automatically pops up to a very first position. That first position is going to allow you to go ahead and wind that watch. So again, you're going to want to rotate this crown clockwise. And you're going to want to do like full rotations. And don't worry about doing it too slow. You're going to want to go ahead and kind of give it a nice little wind like this. You're going to want to do this about 30 to 40 times. Now, you don't have to sit there and actually count exactly 30 to 40, but you're going to want to give it a good amount of turns. And you can keep winding this thing even 60, 80 times. You're not going to hurt the movement of the watch itself. But once you've done that full power reserve on the watch, now you're ready to go. So when you go ahead and screw the crown back in, for that water resistance, you always want to make sure if you have a screwed on crown that is screwed back in. Now you do have a full power reserve. So as you're wearing it throughout the day, it's going to stay wound. And if it is your daily wear, you really don't have to worry about winding the watch maybe about once a month when you're changing the date on the days that have 31 days in the month versus 30, you're probably going to want to go ahead and just give it a full wind. Or for me personally, if I'm whenever I'm bored and just want to fidget with my watch, I will just go ahead and give it a little wind here and there, just so that I don't really have to worry about it too much. But again, every watch has a different caliber rating, so it's going to have a certain amount of power reserve. So if you stop wearing it for a certain amount of days based on the caliber, you will see that that second hand has stopped moving. That is completely normal for an automatic timepiece, so just go ahead and give it that full power reserve. Now, if that's not something that you really want to fidget with a manual winding or an automatic timepiece, you just want to go ahead and receive the watch, wear it, always have an accurate time on it, you may want to consider a quartz movement or a battery operated timepiece. So today we're going to feature this beautiful Rolex Oysterquartz, and this one's a really cool one because, as you know, with Rolex, they're really known for their automatic timepieces, but during the quartz crisis around the 70s, they actually turned and made some of these models with the battery operated movement. And the great thing about a battery operated timepiece is that once you receive it, you set the date and time, you're really good to go. If it does have a date wheel, the only thing you have to worry about is every other month just changing that date on the months that don't have 31 days. But other than that, you are pretty much good to go once that time is set. It's always going to be accurate. It's never going to lose that time on the watch itself. And you don't have to worry about winding it. You can just wear it and enjoy it. And then every few years or so, you're going to want to go ahead and replace that battery once you see that it's died. But you can take it to pretty much any reputable watch store, and they can go ahead and replace that battery for pretty inexpensive. But if you are someone that doesn't like to fidget with their watch, they want to wear something right away out of the box, good to go, you may want to go ahead and consider the quartz movement timepiece. So on our listings here at SwissWatchExpo.com, if you scroll down a little bit further on our website, on our listing pages below the photos, we do have a really nice detailed product description where we do go over the different types of movements on each timepiece that we list on our website. But if you are confused, we are here. We do have a facility here in Atlanta, Georgia that we're always operating to make sure that we can help our clients. So if you give us a call, give us that stock number, we can go over the different movement types. Or if you had received a watch from us and you're just not quite sure how to operate, we do offer FaceTime calls so we can do kind of a video tutorial for you. So check out some of these timepieces we have available out here at SwissWatch Expo.